Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Start this morning off right. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele, and I'm bringing back the boom, y'all. Boom! I miss doing that a little bit. Yes, indeed. It is Okoye Thursdays. I got my good brother Okoye locked in, ready to go talk some Cowboys football, hanging back in the green room, coming out the roundup. Y'all know what we'll do. We'll get into this Cowboys situation. Offense, defense, a little bit of Amari Cooper talk. A little Amari Cooper talk again, man. I'm going to actually bring out the confidence meter and see where you guys are in regards to the Dallas Cowboys confidence from players and coaches and units and things like that. And then we'll also put a bow on this Cardinals game. Got my guy Koye. He brought up a very interesting point yesterday on his show, as well as in our back and forth conversation. So I want him to bring that to the A to Z Sports morning show family. So y'all stick around for that. And we'll talk a little bit about this Cowboys Philly game, if it's about player management or will we get something from it. I tend to think it's more so about player management, but we'll dive into it just a little bit. But there's more Cowboys news and updates I think that are more interesting than this game. I'm just being real with you. So we'll dive into that here after the roundup. But first up, shout outs are in order. Miss Jackie, how you doing? Good morning. Adrian, Matt Goddix, what's up, brother? James, Doug Smith, a.k.a. Old Head. He said, howdy, Mr. Acoy. Malcolm Williams, Calvin Jefferson, Jackie Flash. My bad. Jackie Flash in the building. Robbie Rafford, TC915. Hey, TC, I did peep your message on Twitter. I'll get back to you, brother, when I can. Mark Smith, Mark Canella, my guy Marcus Hardison, Mike Tag in the building, Below the Heavens, Nisi, Marcelo, Fresh Fade. Shout out to my guy. He was listening to us up in the skies yesterday, man. John Jones, Eric Montoya. Yeah. Roman Empire, Bear 24, Kevin Richards, Stephen White. Who else we got over here? Manny, what's up, Manny? AJ Torres, Adam Mack. I believe Mark Canella was first up in the building. Brandon C. Rico, what's up, Rico? Prime Time, Captain America. And I believe Eagles Are Trash is also up in here. CJ Richards, what's up, CJ? Says, Sky, I know you 5 minutes away in person and really be 10 minutes. So basically he's saying, I'm the CP time. You're 5 minutes away, but I'm like 15 for real. Yeah, that's the ish, bro. That's the ish part. Bill Pugh, Chuck P, and the many more coming through. Make sure if y'all do not catch this episode live, you run it back on all platforms, or you could run it back here video-wise on YouTube or on Facebook. Tell them again, Okoye.
It's definitely going to be on my channel tonight, too.
Yeah. So
I ain't going nowhere till it's done.
So look,
once I do it,
you run it back anywhere. There's multiple platforms to run this thing back. Make sure y'all do that, man. Miss Jackie says she's doing well, but it's cold here in Frisco. I'll tell you something real quick. This
50 degrees,
fam, listen,
be like freezing over there.
This Dallas weather's strange. It's strange. We both from PA, so 50 ain't nothing. You know, we can deal with 50 degrees, but
I don't even wear a coat.
It'll be 75, and then 2 hours later it's 40.
Word.
Like this is so weird, man. This weather is weird. I'm still getting used to it. Y'all know I'm new down here in Dallas, but
that was the only place I ever
out.
been to where there was hail. I never seen hail in real life until I
really?
went to.
I mean, I've seen hail up there, but
no, I mean like Philly hail is like that's not hail, bro. That's like little tiny little drizzles. That's drizzle hail. I'm talking about golf ball hell in
Oh, yeah.
Texas. Golf ball size. I'm like,
It's
this is
something
hell, nigga.
It's something different, man. It's
Yeah,
something
this
different.
is hell.
All right, here we go. We're going to jump into this roundup, and then coming out, there's a conversation I wanted to start with Okoye in regards to Coop, and we'll get into everything we need to get into. So y'all stick around for the morning roundup as we begin right now.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
This is the morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness. Your solution for your fitness goals, whether it be weight loss, strengthening up, toning up, sports, or stress relief. Our friends over at TFF have everything you need, and it is the beginning of the new year. Happy New Year's to everyone, and a lot of people's New Year's resolution is to get into the gym. I'm telling you right now, there's no better gym to get into than Texas Family Fitness in the DFW area. So check out any of the 9 locations around here, or hit up texasfamilyfitness.com and let them know Boy Sky sent you. First up, in what is essentially the leading story of the day, Micah Parsons enters the COVID protocol. Right? I feel like I should press the button, right? But at first, it sounds bad. It looks bad. You feel bad. And you're like, what? Oh. I'd rather it happen right now than it happen next week heading into the playoffs, right? Like, I'd rather get it out the way. Micah's, he's still a rookie, so technically, get a little break. You know what I'm saying? Rest his body a little bit before he hits the playoff schedule. And that's just me thinking selfishly as a football fan. But thinking unselfishly, I hope Micah is okay, right? Like, I hope he's fine. I hope this is just something where his symptoms aren't major. It's just formality, and he's okay. But Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb were at the Mavs game yesterday, and a lot of people on Twitter are upset because they didn't have their mask on and things like that. And I'm not going to get into the political aspect of this. Yeah, I'm not going to get into this. If y'all can hear Quinn in the back. Here's the thing. I'm not going down that road. But there are a lot of people upset they were at that game because Micah was at the Mavs game, came back, got tested positive for COVID. Now, Lamb and Cooper there. Let me just say this real quick. Because Amari Cooper recently tested positive, he won't get tested for another 90 days, so he's fine. CeeDee Lamb, on the other hand, he tested positive back in August, so technically he can be tested again. Let's hope he's okay, he's fine, and that game didn't affect anything. But listen, I'm not naive. I'm not naive to the fact that a lot of people are going to be questioning these guys being at the game. I'm just not. So I'm not going down that road. They're grown-ass men. They're going to do what they want to do. You know, not everybody that goes to these outings are going to catch it. So I'm hoping that they are protected and they're fine. You know, that's all I can really say to this matter. I'm not judging them one way or another. That's not me. So there's that. Keanu Neal has been activated, though, from the COVID list. So at least you'll get Keanu Neal back on Sunday or Saturday now, right? 2 days. On Saturday, while Micah Parsons will be out. And honestly, Keanu Neal needs it, right? Like, Keanu Neal needs to be out there. He hasn't played really all that great this year. And, he missed the last game. We're going into the playoffs. Need to hit somebody. Yeah, let me bring you in here. Say it again. Say that again.
I think he played just as good as you would think a safety playing linebacker would play. Like, which
that's fair.
You know,
that's fair, Corey.
That's what I would. He's playing exactly how I thought he would.
That's fair. I ain't gonna hold you.
So that's why I'm never mad at Keanu.
Yeah. Adrian said, "I missed the point, Sky. Coop will be fine, but what if he gives it to other guys? He's still okay then." Listen, man, I'm not going down that road. I'm not pretending to be a scientist. I'm not pretending I know exactly how this thing works. I'm truly not. So I hope he's fine. I hope he doesn't contract it and he doesn't give it to anybody else. That's what we're not going to do here. Let's just hope that both of these boys is good to go and everybody is healthy on the way into week, 18. yesterday it came out the NFL contacted Arlington to have AT&T Stadium as its backup Super Bowl destination. Now, listen, when you hear that as Cowboys fans, as Dallas residents, I guess, as Arlington residents, you think, oh, that's dope, man. We might have a Super Bowl in Dallas. Then it came out that, this happens every year. They contact stadiums every year just in case something happens. There'll be a backup plan. Now with COVID in the situation with that, something may come up where Dallas may get it, because last year it was supposed to be at SoFi, correct? And the COVID situation happened, and it ended up being in Tampa. And who won the Super Bowl in Tampa? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm just saying, maybe a little omen there. I don't know. We'll see. And then finally, Amari Cooper speaks up again, ladies and gentlemen. We've had this conversation all week. We had it yesterday in depth. Let me just give you some of his quotes. What Coop said yesterday. I just really feel, or I really know that given the opportunity, I can lead the league in all categories, Amari tells us. That's just how I feel about the skill set I've been blessed with. Before you crucify Amari, he was asked a question about his targets and other players around the league, getting targets and leading the league in yards and all these other things. So that's why he brought it up. He didn't just bring it up out of nowhere. And then he said, we could be a lot better in the red zone and on third down. I still feel like I can help the team in a huge way in those areas. I think it will come. We have some plays in this week that I'm a big part of, and hopefully I can take advantage of the opportunity. Once again, it should not take Amari Cooper to do this, to have plays this week that he's a part of, and hopefully he can take advantage of the opportunity. That should not happen. And with that said, let me get my guy in here, Okoye Media. He is in the building.
He's in the building!
What up? What up?
What's up, good brother? How you doing, man?
Man, what's up with it, man? I can't call it. I'm looking at these stats right now, and I'm a little sick myself for my man Coop.
Yeah,
for real.
You brought something up. I think it was in the pre-roll here, talking about there's some interesting stats with Amari Cooper. So I want you to share that with the folks too.
Well, first I'm gonna say, out of the last 157 dropbacks, you would think, right? Out of 157 dropbacks, I said Coop only got 25 of those periods.
Targets.
Targets. That's kind of crazy. So out of 157 passes, Coop got 25 of those. But let's listen to these stats real quick, right? You got one guy, and I want you to imagine who this is. Who's the guy we're paying, right? One guy, Tampa Bay game, 15 targets, 7 receptions, 104 yards. Another guy, same guy, 9 targets, 8 receptions, 81 yards, respectable. Another 11, then for 149. Another 8 for 112. Then 13, 10, and 9 in 3 consecutive games, right? But for a total of 118 targets this season and 77 receptions, right? Then you have this other guy. No, that's who you call Sedarius or CD Lamb. That's CD Lamb. Coop, he had one game with 17 targets and 13 receptions. That was Tampa Bay.
Week 1, yeah.
Week 1. Then he had Minnesota game. That was Cooper Rush throwing on the ball. 13 targets, 8 receptions. And then in Washington, 11 targets, 7 receptions. Those were the only double-digit target games he's had all season, and he hasn't been above 8 other than that, except for New England. That was it.
So the last time he's seen 8 targets, more than 8 targets, or more than 7 targets was in New England?
No. The last time he saw more than 7 targets was in Washington.
I was about to say he just got like 11 targets, didn't he?
Yeah, Washington.
Okay. I'm about to say,
but I'm talking about throughout the entire season, he's only been double-digit targets 3 times.
Oh, okay.
And I just named Lamb has had 9 or more targets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
Wow.
8 games he's been targeted 9 or more times. So pray tell, who's the number 1 receiver that we're paying number 1 money? It don't sound like it's Amari Cooper. So I understand his gripe and his grievance, and obviously since he was at the game exposing himself to the vid with Lamb,
Y'all
he
better
ain't
not
mad
get
at
Koye
Lamb.
started on that shit.
He ain't mad. I ain't gonna get started. I ain't gonna do that to you. I'll do that on my channel. I'm kamikaze on my channel. But he ain't mad at Lamb, basically. So it ain't a Lamb thing. I
No.
mean, I feel like he really understands like they need to get him the ball. He's not wrong. He only has 63 receptions. Lamb has 77 receptions this season so far. So
do we also do have to take into account he missed the 2 games though, right? Like when he had COVID. So there's 2 games out. But if you look at the targets per game, I agree with you. I don't think they're
killing
enough. And let's just simplify this for people. Because if y'all don't know, I think, Corey, you're a data analyst, right? Or something around along those lines.
No, I'm online reputation management analyst.
But you are, but it's the pattern recognition that you specialize in.
I'm good at that. Yeah, that's my thing.
And he constantly, if y'all can see the chats, and sometimes we have privately and in our group chat and things like that, he brings up numbers. And there's going to be a group of numbers I want you to bring up here in a second.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And I see. I missed that. I missed stuff like that, and you caught it after the game. But anyway, you said something that was so simplistic, right? That made sense that really we should be talking about. If the offense is struggling, you have to figure out, well, why is it struggling? And then you said this to me. Well, Amari Cooper's not getting the ball. Ezekiel Elliott's not getting the ball. Tony Pollard is not getting the ball. 3 of your best players on offense aren't getting the ball enough, and you wonder why your offense is struggling.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean,
it don't make no sense. Like, this is not rocket science.
Facts, right? If you want to just keep it simple, that's keep it simple, stupid, right there. You're supposedly, right? I mean, I get we have our opinions on Ezekiel Elliott, but I mean, he's getting paid to get the ball. He's not getting that much. Tony Pollard's one of the most explosive guys. He's not getting it that much. And Amari Cooper is your best wide receiver and one of the best in the league, and he's not getting it that much. And we wonder why the offense is worse.
And if you were giving Tony the ball and Zeke wasn't getting the ball because of that, I can justify that. Because I'm like, okay, you want to give the hot hand the ball. Cool. And Tony's, a home run hitter. Cool. But neither one of them are getting the ball.
Yeah. So I think, someone asked me yesterday and 2 days ago, well, Scott, how do the Cowboys kind of get out of this, I hate to call it a rut because we know that what they can do. How can Kellen, get more out of this offense? Is it hard? I say no, it's not. It's simple. Just put the ball in your best player's hands. And the same thing goes with Dak. I think Dak and Kellen have to come. Because someone said something yesterday in the chat, and I know I'm jumping all over the place. Just bear with me. But someone said something in the chat that I didn't catch until I replayed my show. He said Kellen and Dak might be too close. Think about it. Kellen and Dak might be too close in the sense where can Dak really go to Kellen and be like, yo, that F it in the system? I always talk about that in the system. Can Kellen really yell at Dak and say, yo, this is what we doing? That relationship might be too close.
Yeah.
And it goes back to they were teammates. Then he was his quarterback coach. Then he was his offensive coordinator. And who is really Kellen Moore to Dak Prescott? He doesn't have much to, And
it's not the respect level. Yeah.
No. And me and Tuck were talking off air after his show about Tony Romo was there. John Kitna was there. Even Mark was there. And Andy Dalton was there. These are veteran guys that could be like, listen, man, screw that, do this. Not saying that Andy did any of that or whatever, right? But I'm just saying there were people there that could check him a little bit.
Who don't give a damn about Dak Prescott's bravado.
Right. So it was an interesting point they brought up. I don't know a correlation to it, but it had me thinking like, that is very interesting.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Great point.
But what do you think, what do you think that Kellen or this offense or Dak or CD, whatever, whomever can do to kind of get this thing rolling, moving towards the playoffs, Corey?
Can we fire him? No, can't fire him. It's like, no, I'm joking. Not in the middle of the season, obviously. Knock on wood. It's like, no. But no, Kellen Moore has to give the ball. Obviously, we just talked about it, to Coop a little bit more. It has to design plays to Coop. Because even when Coop's getting targets, it doesn't matter if you're giving them targets, but you're running button hooks and comeback routes and hitch routes to Coop. Like, don't nobody care if you're throwing the ball at him that way. Even the one that sailed over his head that last game, like that was a comeback route. Like that's all they're really running with.
That was a 4. It was all across the board too. All 4 of them ran a comeback.
Yeah, Coop is a route runner. Why would you not be using his ability to run routes? It doesn't make any sense. So You should see a lot more trips on Coop's side, not trips where you ISO him. They'll have him ISO'd on one side and run trips to the opposite side, which is cool too. You can let him one-on-one with a guy that he can take advantage of. But if you want it to be where no one can even get their hands on him, nor can you figure out what release he's taking, you mask his release by running trips to his side. So that way he can use like natural picks and natural screens with his other guys' releases. Like Coop is one of those guys where if you give him, he's a chess player. You give him a lot more scenarios to dice up, and he'll kill anybody he's lined up against. I got confidence in him. I really feel like if you start him off the way we used to start Dez off, which is give him a lot of easier looks early, and then let his route tree progress over time over the rest of the game, I think Coop can definitely dominate games. And I'm talking about start adding dig routes and drag routes with Coop, things like that, where you can just easily get him the ball, where Dak doesn't have to look for him or wait for him or any timing. No timing is even
I've hardly
necessary.
see Coop run a drag route.
Never seen him run a drag route. Never see him run dig routes. Well, he did run a dig route last week.
Dig, yeah.
Dak almost threw an interception on that when he threw it behind him, and you know who was covering him? Yo, so disrespectful. They had Coop lined up with Simmons. Coop was in the slot. You got exactly what you're looking for. Coop on a linebacker. He was on Isaiah Simmons. Kills Simmons. Dak throws the ball behind him. Coop falls kind of backwards, trying to catch the ball.
That was that second possession in the third quarter?
It was late in the game, so it might have been that one. Yeah. You saw that. And Dak underthrows that one. I'm like, yo, that's exactly what you want right there. So I would be kind of pissed off if I was Coop too, because I'm on a linebacker, bruh. Put the ball out in front of me and
let me go get it.
Run. Yeah. Why Dak drilled the ball, and he drilled it to where Coop was instead of where he was going. And Simmons kind of just fell into his shin. And you see how slow Coop was getting up, that he was kind of pissed off by that, man. Yeah.
There was another play where I don't know if this is community. I don't know what's going on, but 3rd and 9, I think in the first quarter, that was before the missed field goal. They ran all those comeback routes, and he threw it. It seemed like he was trying to throw it upfield a little bit, but Coop sat down, getting it, and they come out the game and they talk about communication. Why are we still talking about communication in Week 17?
I don't know what they're doing, man. But I can tell you, Coop is definitely pissed off, rightfully so, because you can see it on film. Like if you get him one-on-one with a linebacker, that should be a no-brainer. That should be easy, man. Even when we get those mismatches, we're not taking advantage of them. Whether that's, and you can't just blame Kellen for that. Dak has to hit Coop. You have to have more chemistry with him than you currently do, because it doesn't seem like we have much chemistry throwing outside, period, regardless of who's out there. Only guys that Dak's hitting consistently are the guys that are in that, that triangle, whether it's tight end, slot receivers, whoever's in the slot, actually, he can hit them. But on the outside, we're having trouble getting the ball out there.
Which makes no sense, because earlier we weren't. Earlier we weren't. Like, those things were money the first 6 weeks of the season. So,
yeah,
they got to figure that thing out.
Yeah.
So, somebody in the chat brought up, I'm sorry, I can't find it. I think it was Adrian. He's averaging, aside from that first game 1 where he had 17 targets, and then the game 1 we had 17 targets, and then when he came back, he was limited in the Saints game. He's averaging 6.5 targets a game.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't enough.
Not for your number one receiver, and not for a guy like Coop at that. Like, Coop can really dice him up, man. And then I'm hearing rumors about the other AB, and I'm like, y'all better not bring that dude here with Coop.
You ain't hearing rumors. You got fans that are bringing that ridiculousness up.
No, somebody called me about that yesterday too. It's like, yeah, they won't let him go because they think Dallas want him. I'm like, man, Dallas don't want no damn AB, man. They better not bring AB in here. No, you better not. That wouldn't make no sense.
That makes zero sense. You want to talk about rapport. If the rapport is already you're still trying to figure it out, you're not going to just magically figure it out with AB coming in. By the way, which, if we was doing a different podcast, I would have talked about that. He dropped a long, lengthy explanation of his injury and things like that. Made me rethink, like, damn, if he was really hurt, because I don't know if you know the story about what happened in that game.
No, I think we all owe AB an apology. Yeah, I know I do.
If it's true, I definitely owe him an apology. Yeah.
Right. Like, they said they want him to play injured, and he said no. So they said he cut on the. First off, if you cut a guy on the sideline and then he walks off the sideline, I mean, what the hell do you expect him to do?
You know what
sit
sucks?
there and watch the rest of the game? I heard he got cut on the sidelines. I'm like, well,
That's what he said. And a
well,
lot
what
of
do you want
people
him
are
to do?
not going to really believe him because it's AB, right? And it's like, hey, man, you kind of put that on yourself. But Bruce Arians kind of arrogant like that. Like Bruce Arians
I
kind
believe it.
of roll that way. So I can believe that he said some I believe it a little bit, to be honest with you. Maybe
Yeah, I
that's me
believe it.
being naive to AB, but I
Yeah.
can see. And he,
Still wouldn't bring him here, but
no.
but you're
I'm
right,
just
though.
saying I owe him an apology because when it
Yeah, I
happened,
do
I
too.
thought
Because
it
I was like,
was.
this is the last time we ever going to see AB. That's what
Yeah.
I said. They're like, nah, he actually didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But all right.
Apologies, y'all. I'm trying to get in and out of the chat here. I do see we have a super chat.
Super chat.
David J with the $10 donation. Appreciate you. He says, some people have been saying the Cowboys are sandbagging. I think, Law Nation said it, and then I heard Mark Holmes hint at it. What do y'all think? I think this goes along the lines of Koye of kind of like holding back. I can't buy that you as a team is sandbagging it. For what do you have to gain out of that?
Right. I thought so after the Washington game, and then I was brought back crashing back down to earth last game. When you see that there's games that we actually want to win, if you want to win a game like we wanted to win in Arizona, and you can't come up with the means to do so, then I can't say that you're saying, like, what would you be holding back for at that point? Like you said, I can understand you curtailing the play calling just a little bit,
Right.
but when it's time to go out and win it, you pull some of that stuff out and do it. And not to say that we weren't moving the ball better in the second half, because we were. So, I hear you, but if you're sandbagging to losses, I don't buy that. Like, that don't make a lot of sense.
I tell you what, if you wanted to hold back plays or hold back game plans or designs, you know what the easiest way to do that is? It's to go out there and just say, we're going to deliberately, intentionally, and stubbornly give the ball to your three main people every single play.
That's all you gotta do.
If
Run
you
the
want to be
ball.
stubborn, right?
Just run it all day. Then.
Matter
How
of
about
fact,
that?
great segue. Let's get into that real quick
Right.
in a second. But if you want to be stubborn about, I want to hold back the game plan, I want to hold back plays, then here's what you do. You're going to give Amari 15 targets. I'll give Lamb 8 or 9 targets. You're going to get the ball to Ezekiel Elliott 15 times, Tony Pollard 15 times, and then the rest fall as it may. Because those are your playmakers, right? Those are your best players. So get them to rock, and they can win you the game when you're holding back a game plan, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here's a conspiracy theory for you, bro. I don't know what maybe you're better at contracts than I am. I don't know what their contracts entail. Maybe there's some incentive clauses in Coop's contract, and they're trying to like keep his money down, so to speak. Because I don't understand why you wouldn't be giving him the ball. Like same thing with Zeke and Pollard. Like, what's going on with that? Like, why would you not be giving them? There is no logical reason to not be giving them the ball. Like, don't make no sense.
That don't make any sense. The Zeke and Pollard one.
The only one getting the ball is the one who contract don't matter, and that's CD.
The
CD
Coop one,
and Schultz.
I would say nah, because when you go look at the tape, I don't think Dak is purposefully not giving Coop the rock because of contracts. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Dak is doing that. Why would Dak? I don't think he's doing it. I don't want to put that in the air. First of all,
yeah, I don't think
put that. I don't think he's doing that. I think it's just a flat out stubborn kind of, hey man, this is our system. It'll work. You heard what Kellen Moore said. We're not going to narrow down the focus to one player. This is how we're going to run our system, and I don't think Dak is going to fight him on that. So that's how he's going to play it. So. But let's.
I mean, we're losing with that.
Let's turn the page to something that you sent me, Okoye. You sent me a text message yesterday. You said, do you have the numbers? Because I don't.
Oh yeah, I know them by heart. I know them by heart.
All right, good. So tell me the numbers that you sent me real quick.
So I sent you number 34.
Yeah.
33. 21.
Yeah.
33. And 37.
And then 12, right?
I mean. Oh, and then 12 is the last one.
Yeah, you sent me 12. So he said, bro, what do these numbers indicate to you? I'm sitting here thinking too. I'm like,
you got me stuck.
Points is like I'm really thinking. I'm like, I don't know, man. You got me stumped. And tell me what you said.
Those are the amount of rushing attempts for running backs at that from the teams all the 5 teams who beat Arizona. That's how many times they ran the ball.
Real quick, run it down one more time.
34. That was Green Bay. 33. That was the Colts. 21. That was the Rams, and they don't even like to run. 37 was Carolina. They dominated them. And then you had 33 again, and that was, who was that one? That was another one. Oh, that was the Lions. They
37?
ran 33.
Okay.
The last 33. 37 was Carolina. 33 was the Lions. And they all did one thing. They all beat Arizona. And they all ran the ball more than 21 times. Period. So, and then to take the heat off of Dak, I was looking at that too. When you look at each of those games, there was no quarterback that did over 300 yards in any of those games. None. And Aaron Rodgers was the worst of all of them with 184 for his win. He had 184 yards in his win. You know why?
Yeah.
Because Arizona can stop the pass. That's what they do.
There was a
They
lot
can't
of
stop the
people
run.
coming out of that Packers game that was like, well, A-Rod won with his backups, yada, yada, yada. Didn't realize that A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones ate on the ground. You know,
They
there was a lot of
ran
people that realized
31 times collectively between the two of those guys. 15 for Dillon, 16 for Aaron. And then they threw the ball to Aaron probably another 5-6 times, which was really like run plays because they would line him up.
Long
Instead of
handoffs,
having him in
yeah.
the backfield, they would line him up like a tight end almost. And as soon as they snap the ball, they just lob it out to him, and he's running. He off to the races before the defense knows what's going on. So as soon as those linebackers take that step back to get into their zones, he's already getting the ball, and he's already turning and running up the field. So he's not dealing with the line. He's only dealing with linebackers trying to converge from the middle of the field to catch him. And his wide receivers that are over there are already blocking those corners. So he was killing on those all day. And guess how many times they did that? Like 5 times. We did it, but we did it once in the game or twice. You know what I mean? We're like, oh yeah, it works, but we won't do that again.
That seems to be the
Don't
theme,
make sense.
Koye.
Don't make no
Something
sense,
will
man.
work, and then we'll just put it in our back pockets and save it for God knows when. I don't know when they're going to bring it back out, but
I don't get it, man.
I'm so upset I didn't catch that trend going into the game because that's the blueprints right there.
You
That
know
is
what the game plan
obviously
needs
the
to be.
blueprint, right.
You better run we ran the ball 12 times, bro, with our
For
running back.
2.9 yards per carry.
And the crazier thing is, and that's the other thing you got to pay attention to, the types of runs.
Mhm.
When you look at the way other teams were running against them, why would you come out and say we're going to run out of shotgun and not even run draw plays out of shotgun? Because that actually was working. The Lions, we can't even say the refs or any of that. They didn't want the Lions to win that game. The Lions were getting holding calls left and right. Go back and watch the game. Even when they were pushed behind the sticks, you know what they were doing to get from behind the sticks? They weren't trying to throw their way out of it. They were turning around and running draw plays, and it was working. They were getting right back up the field. That's just common sense. So running out of the shotgun, but not running any draw plays against a pass-first defensive mentality, or they're thinking pass first. Why wouldn't you be running draw plays in the first place? We're running power runs out of the shotgun. No other team runs the ball the way we run the ball, and no other team is blocking the way we're blocking. We're pass blocking on run plays because some of those runs, and that's how the way you can tell. Sorry to jump around, but the way you can tell what an audible is, whether it's a run play that was audible to a pass. If you're watching a run play that was audible to the pass, just watch the way the offensive line fires off and watch what the wide receivers on the opposite side does. So there was a play where Dak was audible on a lot too. So there was a play where Dak audible and Coop and CD Lamb ran right into the DBs in front of them. You know that was actually a run play, but he wound up throwing it to Gallup on the opposite side of the field. So you know that was an audible because of the blocking scheme. Your wide receivers wouldn't be blocking if it was a route called. There was no route called. They were blocking. And then the running plays that we run, we had a play to Zeke and one to Pollard where we handed off. The wide receivers run a route, but the offensive line pass blocked, and it wasn't a draw play. So I'm like, they're pass blocking because the original blocking scheme called for this play was a pass play. See what I'm saying?
Well, there's no real intent on running the ball. It's again, and someone had posted on Twitter, I need to know how many times, Dak audible at the line. I said, bro, that's part of the scheme. Unfortunately,
that don't matter.
That's part of the scheme, where we go to the line. I said this, and you're a historian just like me in regards to this league. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is probably the only quarterback that I would want to go to the line and literally run the game.
Call plays.
Game. Why the hell? Yep. And listen, I love Dak. You don't know I love Dak. I don't want Dak going to the line every single play and having to change the play to match what the defense is doing every single play. He's not that kind of dude. Peyton Manning a different animal when it comes to that. And even that, and even then, Okoye, if you recall, what were the teams that Peyton Manning struggled with? It was the good defenses
England.
that could confuse him pre-snap. And that's exactly what happened to Dak. He came up to the line of scrimmage trying to do too much because that's part of what has to happen in this scheme. Where when you sent me those numbers, I'm sitting here like, man, the blueprint was right in front of you. Just
hand the ball
freaking
off.
run the ball, play action, kind of keep it simple, stupid in this game, maul them up front.
Wait for your opportunities and then
wait for your opportunities, right. Instead, we got Dalton Schultz 1-on-1 against Chandler Jones 4 times in the game, and he lost 3 of those 4. And a little bit of, let's give a little bit of grief to the
Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb multiple times on linebackers, and you couldn't get him the ball.
Yeah. Well, I'm just speaking in the run game, where we just literally.
Oh, you talking about the blocking game? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean 12. I mean, 12
Why did you have that?
12 rushing.
That mindset. Like, if you're gonna have Dalton Schultz blocking Chandler Jones, you can't be running that way. You have to be running away from that. Like, you can have him come across the line and cut him.
No.
But you can't have it like we're gonna run at Chandler Jones with Dalton Schultz as. Oh my God!
He ran away from him. Dalton Schultz couldn't even block him away from him. And Chandler Jones made a play twice. So it's I don't know, man. They need to figure it out. A lot of times in this chat, we've always talked about it. There really is no run game scheme. Like, we don't have a running scheme.
No,
it's mostly
like
run out
randomly.
shotgun.
It's like this. We gonna randomly do whatever. No, it's no continuity there though. The only thing we do consistently, like you said, is run out of shotgun. But we ran out of 12 personnel a lot in the Chargers game. Then we run out of 11 personnel after that. And then we run out of shotgun. But then this last game, when we were trying to run power, you bring in McGovern only when you're actually trying to run. I'm like, that's a dead giveaway like that you're trying to run. If you're going to use McGovern, you should use McGovern for a whole series. And then they know, like, hey, he's in here, but we're still passing out of this too. See what I'm saying?
Put McGovern in the goal line in the red zone. That's all you really need to have him in there.
That's it.
But you brought up
and
something.
Then when the goal line, we go shotgun. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you're right. You brought up something, though, that maybe our run game can find some rhythm. You talk about the 12 personnel. And the Cowboys are getting back Blake Jarwin. Now, Blake Jarwin is not a blocking savant. I won't pretend that he is. That's not the point of this.
It's actually the opposite that helps us, right?
Where I'm getting at is that you give the defense two different type of looks to worry about, or two different type of plays to worry about, and that's passing and running. When you have a 12 personnel and you bring out what's the cat's name? Sprinkle.
Yeah,
Sprinkle.
You sprinkle a little sprinkle on.
You're not worried about Sprinkle. You know what I mean?
Better not be.
Whereas if you're a safety and Blake Jarwin comes out there, you have to guess right. Because if you guess wrong and you say, "Oh, screw Blake Jarwin, I'm coming up," if it is play action, Blake is going to crush you down that seam. Or if it's not even a play action and Blake kind of sneaks out and gets you an out route, he could turn up field for some yak. So, and again, Blake wasn't killing when he was there, but Blake was efficient. And that's a term that I've been using, all year, Koye, because I got rid of the volume stat stuff a little bit and said it's about efficiency with this offense. And if they can become efficiently balanced on both sides, they're unbeatable offensively, in my opinion. But do you think this 12 personnel can maybe help open up the run game, because they were better in it earlier in the year?
100%, because like you said, he's not a blocking savant, but the opposite, like you just said, is the threat with him. The fact that you have to still keep someone out there that can actually cover him makes it so that you can kind of dictate the personnel that they're going to bring on the field, even when you're coming out with a bigger package. Right now, when we come out with a bigger package, like the 12 personnel we tried to run last week, we're coming out with McKeon and Sprinkle both on the line. Like, I wonder what they're doing. They ain't throwing the ball, bro.
Nah.
So yeah, with Schultz and Jarwin out there, I think we can definitely do a lot more damage that way. So hopefully it translates into more continuity and a smooth flow for this offense. But only time will tell, man. I don't think we'll find that out until the playoffs anyway, though. The Eagles game, I don't think will be a good barometer for that at all.
Oh, well, let's go ahead and segue Jones into that real quick. I said yesterday and 2 days ago, there's really not much I don't think I'm going to be able to gain from this game. The only thing, someone asked me, well, what can you get out of this? I said, if I had to pick something, I would say, let me see how the Cowboys defense plays against this RPO read option offense, because That's one of the things that I've always said. We gotta see if we can do that. I thought last week they did good. Chase Edmonds averaged 2.9 yards per carry. Kyler Murray really didn't kill you into the last 2 possessions of this game in regards to that. So I was like, all right, I feel a little good. Let's see if we can, add on to that against the Eagles, because that's what they're going to do to you. They're going to RPO you to death and read option you to death. And then Michael Parsons went out. So now I'm like, oof. I'm a little bit worried about that RPO. Granted, this game don't mean much, but still, I'm a little worried about that RPO read option stuff with late.
Why? You got LVEs in there, man.
That's why.
LV, the all LVE coming. We got LVE showcasing, baby. Let's go. LVE, baby. Yeah.
Y'all don't know why he trolling me right now. Y'all gotta go watch the round table. Oh, I didn't even bring that up. The round table was crazy last week.
That Joe was fired, man.
You know what, though? We might have to stop doing these goddamn things before these big games. This is 2 times now.
Yeah, that's the second time we did it.
Second time we did it, we lost. We did it before the Kansas City game.
Yeah, they bad luck, man.
Bad luck a little bit. We might do it after the game. But y'all gotta go check that thing out.
Oh, man.
I done lost
that's
my train of
crazy.
thought.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, the
you were
RPO
asking
stuff.
about honestly, I'm a little I don't think we'll fare well as far as linebacker play because we got LV and Neal in there, to be honest with you. So I think that'll be a problem. The only thing that saves us is the Eagles aren't, well, that's the other thing, though. I don't know. I was going to say they're not a power running team, but they do got Jordan Howard back. He wasn't there the first time we played him.
I think he on COVID too a little right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, but they might be back before.
They were running more like a scat back scheme when we played them the first time. They didn't have a power.
They didn't run
back
at
in
all.
there.
They ran it 5 times in that game, bro.
Oh, wow. I didn't even keep that. That's even crazier.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it'll be practice though, because the one thing that you can't account for is a running quarterback. And with Hurts running the way he runs, and with Murray running the way he runs, those are the 2 wild card games to me. If we match up against either one of those teams, that give us trouble. I feel like quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, to me, are less scary because you know where they're going to be. Yeah, you know where they're going to be. So even if they're having a bad game, they're having a bad game. They're having a bad game. They're not doing. They don't have anything else to go to. When Kyler Murray has a bad game, he can still run the ball and extend drives and kill you, or confuse guys because he might be running, or they run RPO. So it'll be practice. This will be good practice for us. But I'm interested to see how well LV and Neal are able to deal with Hurts running. You know what I mean?
I'm not too confident in that. Be honest with you, but they need to practice. You know what I'm saying?
They need to practice though. Yeah.
If 11 is out there, I'm not sweating.
I ain't worried about it.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't sweating.
They ran. They tried to run that on 11 the first time. They ran 2. They pulled 2 linemen into him. Both of them
loss.
Still got the tackle.
Tackle for loss.
Like, even if he would have just clogged it up there, that would have been a win. You know what I mean? He clogged it up and got the tackle. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that'll be good practice. Offensively, this should be treated more, in my opinion, like a preseason game. Get your 2.5, 3 quarters with the starters, and get them out of there, because I don't think there's too much to gain unless it's a close game for whatever reason, and you have to win this game, Okoye, because if you win, you put the pressure on those other guys to win, so they can keep the 2nd and 3rd seeds. But I do think this is going to be about how they manage these players in this game. J-Ron Kurtz, for instance, he's dealing with a hamstring injury. I would not play him. I just would not do it. Your hamstring can linger. Let him get this week and next week to rest, and then you're getting for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be about balancing that player management in this game. To me, I think that's the most important thing.
You mean like when they played Zeke all year when he was hurt a little bit? You think? That's an indication for how well we manage players, I think. Don't you think?
Well, listen.
I think we do a great job, actually.
I do too.
Great,
aside from Zeke.
Yeah. If someone gets a calf injury, we leave him out 4 or 5 weeks. D-Law breaks his foot, man. We let him rest. He needed 6 weeks. We gave him 10. Why not?
Neville Gallimore.
Neville Gallimore tears his elbow up. Almost missed the whole year. But Zeke, partially torn ACL, man, put some tape on it.
He wasn't got a
put some tape on it and let him play.
He got Tyron Smith's arm/knee brace, put it on his knee, and said, "I got a bone bruise." Excuse me, sir. A
Why you
bone
got a
bruise
knee
don't
brace?
need a knee brace,
Why
bro.
exactly, bro. That ACL is torn, bro.
Say Tyron, come
Like,
here, bro.
he is
Yeah,
Booby
I can borrow that.
Miles running around with a knee brace on, and he can't cut off of it. If
Yeah.
you watch him trying to cut back, like those cutback lanes were their physique, but they were running them in the wrong direction because they didn't realize he can't cut off the knee brace knee.
Cut like
You need to
used
run. You need to start it off to the right and then let him cut back to his left because he can actually do that. He can't cut back to his right. He
And see,
stutter steps on that right foot.
That's why I said this in the text message yesterday to you. I said, you always bring up the comparison, Alvin Kamara and what's the other cat's name?
Mark
bro?
Ingram.
Mark Ingram. Be
Mhm.
stubborn in that way of how they use those guys, bro. They're not doing anything crazy with Mark Ingram. When I say, hey, Mark Ingram, we need you to make all these cool they're using him as a power back downhill go. And we know that Zeke, he's compromised a little bit, and he can't give you that kind of Zeke anymore, but he can still give you something. So utilize him
He can run
in that
straight.
manner.
Yeah,
Right.
He can run straight fast.
A lot, and they don't necessarily do that enough to me. And I'm gonna be real with you. I think we need to ditch the start the series off, handing the ball off to Zeke on the outside out of shotgun. Ditch it. It's a negative EPA. It doesn't start. For instance, I wrote a stat down yesterday, bro. The Dallas Cowboys since week 7 are ranked 28th or worse on first down runs, including 32nd in yards per carry. Ditch it.
Because of the types of runs you're running.
Like the evidence is there that whatever you're doing is not working. So hey, let's get back into the lab. Let's figure out what we can do that does work. You know who is averaging a high carries on first down? Tony Pollard to the outside. I mean, it could be one of those things where I don't care if you know it's coming, stop it. You know what I mean?
And if you're gonna run them out of shotgun, why don't you put both of them back there in the first place? So that way they got to try to guess.
I missed those.
They got to guess which one's getting the ball, or at least do something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like they don't. If you got both of them out there, you don't know if he's running straight or if they're running off to the edge. You don't know who's getting the rock. So
maybe the chat can help me out here, but I'm just vividly remembering off the top of my head, probably because I just did some film on it. There were maybe 5 times I could remember Zeke and TP being on the field at the same time. At least more than half of those, 5 or 6 times, half of those times it was successful. It was either a touchdown or a big gain. You know, one was a wild.
Well, that's why we never did it again. You know how we like to do things that we're successful at. Very rarely.
When's the last time you saw now Red Zone? We've been a little bit better at home, but on the road we hadn't. Tony Pollard did the jet sweep for a touchdown against the Chargers. That has never been run again. That was in week 2.
Not one
time.
Yep.
It hasn't been run again.
Not one.
The Tony Pollard, he did a fake pitch to Dak for 31 yards against the Chiefs. I'm not saying you got to do this every week, but that hasn't been ran since week 10. It's week 17. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe
we don't have
what they're saving.
We have too many plays. You ever watch Shark Tank? You ever watch Shark Tank? You know how they have a guy who come out and he got like all these SKUs, which is like, different barcodes for different products. You got too many SKUs, too many products. You're not good at anything. We got too many plays. We got so many plays, we don't have any favorite plays.
We have so many plays, we don't have a scheme.
There you go.
We just got plays.
You know how Andy Reid, what is one of Andy Reid's favorite plays? I don't even have to name one. I guarantee you can pull one out.
There's a bunch of them, man. There's a lot of
What about, let's just name tight ends. To tight ends, what's his favorite thing?
Oh, yeah, tight end screen. He does a great job of getting a tight end
right in the middle, the shovel pass right in the middle of the field, right?
Yeah,
we know that.
We suck at running those shovel passes, though.
I don't want to run that. I'm just saying, Andy Reid has plays that he loves that you know him for because he does them. And you know it's going to happen eventually in a game or in a season. You're going to see it a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
We know that because over the years he's done them. We don't have any of those plays where it's like, except for the ones that don't work, like the hitch, the funnel screens and the hitch routes and stuff like that. We'll run those all day, and they never work. So I don't get it. I feel like the way we're playing and the way we're calling plays is like it's just too robust. They need to just narrow it down a little bit too, like you just said.
Keep it simple.
Let's just do what works. Whatever's been
works.
working, do that. And if they can stop you doing that, that means they stop you doing your best, and they deserve the win.
Yeah,
like we don't have to get that creative, man.
No, I'm with you 100%. And when people, like I said, when people ask, well, what can we do to fix this or make it better? Is just flat out put the ball in your best player's hands stubbornly.
Yep.
Stubbornly. And then once you do that and teams have to honor that, then you can start distributing to your Noah Browns and your Dalton Schultz and your Sean McKeons and Cedric Wilsons and whatever. because that'll open things up for them. If you go back and watch that Arizona game, they were literally sitting on certain plays knowing they're not going to go there because I'm going to show them this look, and Dak's going to come off of it because he's going to come right to this 5-yard because it's 3rd and 5 or it's 2nd and 7, and if we can get this first down, that's all that matters. I truly do believe they have figured out Kellen and Dak, and there hasn't been a counterpunch yet. I truly believe that.
When they ran that bubble screen where Buda Baker almost caught that pick six, they never thought that anything else was happening at all. Meaning even Xavier and Collins knew what was going on. I mean, everybody jumped into that passing lane immediately. And I'm like, how did they just know? Like, that's exactly what we're doing. Like, they knew automatically, like, oh, we know what this is. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's crazy.
That's the danger of, oh, this worked. I'm going to put it in my back pocket and bring it back out when no one's expecting it. That's the danger of that because they ran that successfully against against the Falcons because they never synced it, right? I ain't synced it. Never seen it. I synced it. But they never seen it. So it worked. So you know what you do? Let me bring this back out again. And then run something else off of it. So the next time I bring it out, that opposing team can say, hey, we might have to sit back on this because it might be a fake and go the other way, or it might be a fake and CD runs a deep a 9 route for a wide open touchdown. Instead, he doesn't bring it out for the next 6 weeks or whatever it was, comes out with the same exact formation with Jeremy Sprinkle, who, by the way, has been terrible blocking in space. And
hold on. Go ahead. Go finish.
And McGovern is out there.
Save him.
And Connor McGovern was out there. And what do you think that the smart Buda Baker is saying? Okay, these dudes, they're not going to fake it. They haven't showed me that they're going to fake it. So I'm just going to beeline straight through and knock this thing down or pick it off. And boom, interception. So I just think we're too smart for our own good sometimes, Okoye.
Yeah. The blocking in space, I was going to save Sprinkle on that one and the line. There's no possible way with the way they're aligned that you could block the guys that they're supposed to block. Like if Sprinkle's out in space and you have a guy that's inside leverage on him, like meaning or closer to the outside, really outside leverage, but inside where he's supposed to be, like he's out leveraging him. You think a tight end's going to get across a DB's face, get in front of him, get in front of him, plant his feet, turn around and stop? Even if you're asking him to do that, that's more on you asking him to do that than it is on him. I don't think he's going to be able to do it anyway. Like there's nobody. Like, all right, when I watched the Green Bay game, I watched a lot of that game. I watched the whole game, but I just now got off the film on that. When they threw hitch routes and screens, you know what they did first? Instead of just having their wide receiver take a step back and wait for the ball, they would have him release. He would release like he's going up the field. That took all the DBs up the field. They would retreat, and then when they retreat, he would double back. And that bought all the time they needed for the offensive line to sneak out in front of them. So by the time the wide receiver got the ball, the offensive line has already gotten in front of them and they're ready to go. I'm like, we don't run it like that. We just step back and be like, give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully the offensive line can beeline over there fast enough and catch a piece of somebody. It's like
little nuances, man, that make a difference.
Yeah,
make a difference.
I didn't pay attention to it, but I'm like, well, let me see why Green Bay's is working and why ours don't work. And that's exactly why they were working.
Now today we won't be doing any film session type breakdowns, but next week definitely if we play the Cardinals, I'm sure Okoye is going to come with some fire.
Already.
I already know you in the lab.
Playoff team that we can possibly play. So that's why I did the Arizona Cardinals versus the Rams.
Rams game.
I did Arizona versus Green Bay. And I did Arizona versus there was another one in there. Oh no, that was those two games. Those two games. I did all four, but I did those two games especially are going to be in the film.
Yeah, high percentage chance we play Arizona. So we got that film.
So I'm looking at Arizona something crazy. Yeah. We got our own game and got those three, and then we got them versus Green Bay and versus the Rams. So even if we play Green Bay or the Rams after that first round, then we'll get a look at what they're doing too.
Before I take this quick break, I've been kind of battling this on and off with me and Tuck were talking about it before. Real quick, man. Who would you rather see in the playoffs? A Arizona team who maybe Hopkins will be back. I don't know, man. I read up on something that sounded like he may be back. Or the Rams.
Sheesh.
I know. Ain't that tough? I'll give you my answer. I said the Rams because I think Stafford can give you the ball.
Yeah. I would say
Even
the
though that's
Rams
not going
as
to be an easy
well.
game either, but
I don't think that's an easy game, but I think we match up better against the Rams than we do Arizona. Well, I
I
can't even
know,
say that
bro.
because I think we could beat the shit out of Arizona too. I don't think Arizona's shit, but I still say the Rams because Matt Stafford ain't running. He ain't running nowhere, man. I just like quarterbacks that are at a spot that when we with our pass rush, even when Micah Parsons didn't get a sack last week, he had 9 pressures. With our pass rush, period, I feel like we can get to quarterbacks who are
Mhm.
at a spot. I don't care who it is,
Bro,
Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford. If you're in a spot,
that's
we're
my
gonna get
thought.
there multiple times a game. We'll get to that spot. But when you have a guy like, look at the sack that we did get with Kyler Murray. We barely got that, and Randy Gregory beelined on him and tore him up, and then Dorrance Armstrong had to clean it up because he's just that hard to bring down. So yeah, I still say the Rams because of that running element. That's
I
it.
share that same sentiment, and I had to catch myself because I want people to understand. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is not a bad man, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, he is.
I'm not saying that, oh, yeah, I'd rather see Aaron Rodgers because, listen, Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous. Obviously, what he can't do with his legs, he can make up with his ridiculous arm and the mental capacity of his game. But with that said, and I'll say it and I'll keep saying it, chat, y'all know, the great neutralizer to a great quarterback is a great pass rush. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys have. And if,
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is mobile, but he ain't Kyler. Tom Brady's not mobile. Matt Stafford can move a little bit, but he ain't Kyler. So if I know these dudes can't escape the pass rush like a Kyler, I feel a little bit better about my pass rush getting there. Somebody said yesterday, oh, well, the pass rush wasn't getting to Kyler. Yeah, it was. You're
Yeah, it
looking
was.
at sack totals.
Yeah,
We didn't get a lot of sacks, but Kyler Murray was running all over the place in that game
yeah,
because we were pushing him and because he can.
yeah,
So that's where I'm with you, man. I'd rather see a quarterback that's more planted than a guy that can move around. And Kyler Murray is one of one. He can get
yeah.
busy with his legs, but bro, he can throw the ball. Like
Right,
he can make every throw. So he's a really
right,
damn good quarterback, man. That's,
right.
that's how I see it.
I hope that next time if we do play Arizona again, that we don't try to spy with. I understood why they were spying with the DBs, but it was too easy for them to block. And late in the game, they knew how to stop that.
Well,
We were spying with Curse and Wilson, that's why we saw Wilson on Ertz sometimes because it was Curse spying on those plays and so on. And that's why we also saw Wilson getting blocked off on some of those QB design runs because the center would just sneak out and then wait for Wilson to converge. If we spy with Micah Parsons, you let D Law and Gregory run wild. Let them do whatever the hell they want to do to get to the ball. And Micah Parsons can be that eraser. And the difference is you can't sneak your center out there in front of Micah Parsons and think that he's going to do something. You're not going to stop him. I would rather spy Micah and let our guys out there cover the way they want to cover, the way we've been covering all year, rather than having Anthony Brown on Ertz. And those mismatches were killing us too because
well,
we
that
weren't
was
able
out
to
of
use our
man.
safeties.
Let me
Yeah.
let me give you some numbers here. No other team, the Cowboys ran man concept against the Arizona Cardinals 45 times in that game. No other team ran it more than 25, and the highest was 25 with the Rams game where they lost. So like if and I love Dan Quinn, so maybe he'll go back to the film and say, okay, all right, they got us on this one. We'll run a little bit more zone concepts and make Kyler have to beat me going through his progressions and his reads and then dump it
Yep.
down to Zach Ertz. We got caught way too many times with those over routes, and he missed a few. He missed a
Yeah.
few with Christian Kirk and what have you. But
Yep. Yep.
I would
Yep.
like to see them come out of that man a little bit. Let your pass rush get to them, clog and cover type stuff, so that your pass
Make them
rush
throw
can
it right into our
make
teeth. Yeah.
exactly. So, and I'm not saying be who you aren't. Like, we are a man team. That's what Dan Quinn has done this year more than anyone in the entire
True.
National Football League is running man
But you
concept.
don't want everybody with their back turned to Kyler Murray.
No, not my back turned to Kyler Murray, and we're
Yeah.
seeing right that as much as we like our corners this year playing a little bit better, that teams obviously have a bead on how to get Dallas to get a pass interference or at least get a suspect call. And it's, all right, man, just throw that thing up, underthrow it, and it's likely going to be a pass interference. So teams got a beat on that, and we haven't really adjusted to it, and it is what it is. So I like to see Dan come out of
Man,
that just sometimes.
I saw the refs throwing flags before the ball was thrown. They were like, pass interference. Like,
Hey,
yeah,
listen,
you
bro.
throw the ball yet, bro. What are you doing?
I got my rant out yesterday. I'm just leave it at that. But they got to do better.
Man.
These refs got to do better.
Oh,
All
they're
right.
doing their job. That's their job. They doing
Job.
better. That
They
is
ain't
the
doing their
job.
damn job. I'm going to take
They
a quick.
don't bang with us like that. But go ahead.
No, we're going to take a quick little 30-second break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to hit the confidence meter, Cowboys Nation. I'm going to ask Okoye his confidence. I'll give you my confidence level, and then I'm going to ask you guys your confidence level on certain parts and coaches of this team. So get your water, get your coffee, get what you got to get. If you at work, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do. We'll be right back.
Where else you want to go? Don't nobody do it like us, bro. Oh my goodness. We beat the brakes off y'all. Whoop that trip.
Game Day Live featuring Jesse Holly and myself every single game of the year, including Saturday. We'll be back at Texas Live for the game. And then, of course, the playoff matchup is going to be wild. Hopefully, we get a nice little deep playoff run, man, because I have a good time doing those Game Day Lives. And hopefully, our boys do something in the offs where I can start pressing this button again. I haven't been able to press that button to Okoye for our offense in like 2 months. Ridiculous.
Yep.
All right, man. So we're talking about the playoffs, and I want to get your guys' opinions on your confidence level with this team. And I'm not talking about just one specific player or the team in general. We can do that at the end, but just your confidence level heading into the playoffs with certain aspects of this team. So we're going to start off with one. See here. Let me see here. Let me bring up the confidence meter real quick. Boom. We're going to start off with Kellen Moore. What is your confidence level, Okoye, in Kellen Moore heading into the playoffs?
It's about a 5.
Yeah, 1 to 10,
10.
by the way. Out of
About
1
a
to 10.
5. It's about a 5. I feel like Kellen Moore can do everything, so I can't say I don't have any confidence in him. He can do everything you need him to do, but it's a 50-50 chance on whether or not he will do what he needs to do. So I'll say about a 5.
5. I'm gonna go 1 up. I'm gonna 1 up you. 6. I'm gonna say a 6. I'll give it a 6 because, like you said, we've seen it. And you got the players to do it. And they keep on saying that there may be some holding back, right? And I have to just imagine that they'll eventually at some point show whatever the hell it is that they're holding back. And this could be just some blind optimism, bro.
Comes out in the playoffs, right? And he really was holding back, and he destroys every team we line up against. I'm going to dislike him even more. I'm serious. Like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, that's a good point. No, you make a very excellent observation there. Like,
if better not come out and destroy everybody offensively, because then I'm going to look at him like, why did you say? So now it's the WWE. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
let's go.
Here's the thing: if it is holding back and it comes out in the if it is holding back and he comes out and he starts doing things that he was holding back, it better work.
If that's that too. I mean that too. Yeah, you're right. But I'm still gonna look at him like, yo, you crazy, man.
All right.
Like, if we blow out Arizona and then we blow out Green Bay and like the playoff run is just smooth sailing because of our offense, not our defense, I'm gonna snap. But go ahead.
Y'all let me know if that background music's too high. My apologies. Just trying to add a little bit of pizzazz. Trey says 4. Stevie Mac 3. Boss Cow. Oh, what's up, boss? Boss in the building. 4. J Mart 4.5. 3 out of 3.75. So everybody is definitely mid on him or low. Devil Dog 6. Jacob 6. Aaron 4. James 5. Boxster 3. Will B is the highest right now with 7. Jeremy says very high. Tony 6, moderate says Adrian. Miss Jackie's 2. I'd be lying to y'all if I was like, yeah, my confidence is super high. I just, we've been talking about this for a long time, man. All right, I got another one for y'all that's going to probably break the internet. No, I'm just playing.
Let's go.
Confidence meter, Okoye and Cowboys Nation. And 1, Dak Prescott. Go. Playoff Dak, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.
I like it.
7. Give him
Why?
a 7. I would give him higher, but he's been rusty. So the fact that he's like jittery right now and he's not quite comfortable, can't say that he's like, going to come out and fire on all cylinders. Plus, you got Kellen Moore doing some boneheaded stuff along with Dak being very sloppy with the ball. So that sloppiness with the ball throughout the last 4 or 5 games, not just one game. They've been sloppy with the ball consistently. It just hasn't bitten us in the ass as much as it could. Like, that wasn't a pick 6 to Buda Baker. And he didn't fumble. When he fumbled the snap, he got it back. You know what I'm saying? So those things have been happening, but we just haven't been paying for them as much. Those passes that were popping up in the air just hit the ground rather than being intercepted. And the one that was intercepted was called back. So that was a lot of sloppy football play. So that is why I say, 7, because I feel like if he can clean that up, it'll be higher, but he hasn't. So I feel like he can do everything, but he gets a 7 because of the sloppy football play. I'm
right on par with you. I say 7 because Dak has been actually really good in the playoffs. But are we going to get the Dak Prescott in the playoffs where he's taking off and this is my, ride or die type of, hey, this is all leave it all out. Right.
Elway Dak.
Right. If we're getting that Dak, man, hell, I might even go up to an 8-9 because I have confidence in Dak Prescott to leave it all out there and make good decisions. Right. He doesn't turn the ball over a ton in the playoffs, right? He was clutch in the playoffs for the most part. When you think about the game against the Saints, the game against the Packers where he brought us back down, and even the game against the Rams, he went down, scored, got the 2-point conversion to bring it within 8. Right?
Yeah.
Is, obviously you got to play all 4 quarters, but nonetheless, I do feel good about him in the playoffs. But the reason why I'm sticking at the 7 is because there is a little bit of that uneasiness over the last month of the season where it hasn't been smooth, right? And I don't think the Eagles game is just going to all of a sudden just fix that confidence, right? Make it go to a 10. So yeah. I'm with you. The Cardinals game was
out there that looked like the Dez Bryant not guilty video, man, recently, and I'm like, come on, Dak, stay with it.
Well, I think the Cardinals game would be the most Dez Bryant not guilty.
Yeah,
because he kept coming off the read. It wasn't even necessarily the throws. It was and that's the thing. Let me make this point. I'm not even upset at the handful of errant throws. That's every quarterback does that in every single game.
He was coming off of his looks
it's
too
the
early.
Throws. Yes, it's the throws he didn't make.
And bailing too early. There was one play where Schultz comes across and knocks the hell out of Chandler Jones, knocks him down. Dak has 3 defensive. They only rushed 4, and 3 of the 4 were on the ground. And Dak runs out of the pocket and just throws the ball out of bounds where he had Gallup on a deep post, wide the hell open. But he thought that the rush was getting to him, and it didn't. His guys actually picked everything up, and he could look downfield and make that throw. Dak was making those throws late last year, early this year. He's not right now.
Vance had him rattled. Absolutely had him rattled. All right, next up on the confidence meter, Dan Quinn. What is your confidence level in Dan Quinn heading into this postseason?
I got all the confidence in the world for Dan Quinn, man. I give him a 10. I feel like what he's done with this defense, how could I not? I didn't like our defense last year. I didn't like our defense for a while now. So for him to come in here and do what he's done with rookies and some journeymen and some guys who we didn't quite care about, and now all we're talking about our defense carrying this offense now. Would you think that we'd be talking about that week 1 or in the preseason? Would you think that would be a reality? We were saying that all the defense has to do is hold the duct tape on the holes and we'll be okay. Hold this thing together.
Flipped on his head.
Now we're saying the defense is the ish, and the offense better get it together. So the fact that that's even a conversation, I got to give Dan Quinn a 10 on that, man, because he flipped this entire culture around.
Yeah, I don't know how. If I'm just being a little bit more fair, not a homer, I guess I could say 9, but I feel extremely confident. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Ain't nothing else you can say.
It's at
Somebody
the top.
said a 20. A 20, that's a homer. I
don't know what else to say.
That is like just reasonable.
Like I feel really good about Dan Quinn going into the playoffs. And here's why. It's not even necessarily like the overall of what he's done this year. It's go look at the teams with the good quarterbacks and how he's played against them, right? Like, for the most part, Patrick Mahomes, you held him to 19 points. What's the cat's name in San Diego,
Herbert.
LA? Herbert, 17 points. You go on the road, and I know we gave up the 75-yard touchdown at the end, but you really held them boys to like 20 points, and they are 10-5 now or something like that, 11-5, whatever they are, the Patriots. You made Kirk Cousins look bad when he's had a pretty solid year. So I just think Dan Quinn, if it's, hey, I got one game
Even
in Dallas.
Kyler Murray didn't kill us.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, Kyler.
That was average.
It was okay game. I thought, honestly, when you think about it, Kyler and Dak didn't have, they were almost equal in that game. It's just that Kyler made the plays at the end of the game, you know. But it wasn't like that Kyler Murray just absolutely murdered you all game. That wasn't the case. But nonetheless, I feel like Dan Quinn can scheme it up, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
I agree with you.
I meant to do this one after Dak Prescott, but confidence level on the offensive line heading into the playoffs.
See, that's a great one right there. You slick with that.
Yeah, I know.
Because the offensive line, there's nothing wrong with the offensive line, but there is something wrong with the way we're using our offensive line. And that's a little bit of Dak and a little bit of Kellen. I blame Kellen for the way we're running, the run schemes, but I blame Dak for holding the ball sometimes a little bit too long and not just getting rid of it when you have check downs that could, you can live to fight another play. We're waiting for those late developing routes, or like we just talked about, he's looking in the wrong spots or has the wrong read, and now guys are breaking open and Dak is, flailing around or running to the outside. So some of those things look bad on the offense when you look at the stats. When we were watching the film, the offensive line is actually doing an okay job considering what they're asked to do. So I'm going to give them a 6. That's because they have the potential. If you're walking outside and you got a shorty and she is 6, she got the potential. If you touch her up the right way, she got the potential to look like an 8. You know what I'm saying? They're adjustable 6.
And put the makeup on.
So she got you put the makeup on her. She might be an 8 that day. On that wedding reception, she was an 8. But at the supermarket, she is 6. You know what I'm saying? So they like that. You know what I'm saying? They got that 6. I'll give them a 6.
I'm actually a little higher on them. I'm a little higher on the offensive line because you got this guy Tyron. He just need to get it. Usually when he comes back, he has some issues early, and he did against the Arizona Cardinals. But Tyron is still Tyron. Lyle, I'm confident in Lyle. I'm confident in Zach. I'm actually confident in 52 too. Connor Williams. I thought the holding call on Connor was absolute blasphemy. That was bullshit. Like
he had one that he did hold, but they didn't even call that one. He had
the
one guy
they
blocked, and another dude, he lifted him up like Undertaker. He choke slammed another dude.
Bro, every lineman holds every game.
Like, how is that not holding? They didn't even call that on him though. But I was like, I ain't mad at it.
But every lineman holds every game. But the holding call they decided to call was bullcrap. So I'm actually cool with Connor. I'm cool with Biotis. I think this offensive line, if the game plan, right, is done correctly, I think they can maul you. They just need to be able to be allowed to do it. And you say it all the time. This is a mauling offensive line as opposed to the zone reach block that we used to do, before. So, got to get into the playoffs. I've been saying it for a long time. You got to find a way to get this running game back going because when you get into the playoffs, you have to be able to run the ball. And ask any offensive lineman, they love to run block. So, I'm confident in them.
Yeah.
Confident.
I mean, I'm confident enough. I think they can get the job done,
Final confidence meter, and this one might take a lot of y'all off too, like the quarterback. Confidence meter level in 1, Mike McCarthy, Koye. It's also playoff Mike.
Yeah, playoff Mike. But there's some things that I don't like about like clock management that have been an issue throughout the season. Yeah. So I'm gonna give Mike an 8. I'm gonna give him an 8. I'm still highly confident in Mike McCarthy. For those who say they're not, they don't pay attention to the fact that most of our arguments are not about how bad this team is. None of our arguments are about that. Most of our arguments throughout the season is about us not living up to what we feel the potential of this team is. If you really think about it, we all think that this team is better then it's performed in certain spots in this season, offensively and defensively. And we're still an 11-win team right now, maybe 12 after this week.
Yeah.
So that to say that is like, pick your poison. Before we were mad because we never make the playoffs, or we're not a powerhouse team. Now we're mad because they're not using this powerhouse team the way we think they should. But that all goes down to coaching, man. So Mike McCarthy definitely got to get a lot of respect for that. But at the same time, and the culture, I love the culture that we have here now, where we're not thinking, like LV was in Hard Knocks. You can't make every play. We're not clapping, and there's no moral victories, man. Everybody is competing. All the men in this locker room are competing, even in the locker room. You know what I mean? They're competing, playing basketball in the locker room. They're playing chess at the lunch table. It's like it's competition all throughout, and that's culturally been installed by Mike McCarthy. So I got a lot of confidence in Mike McCarthy because these guys know how to win because they want to win against each other, not just against their opponents. So that's a Mike McCarthy thing, man. So I got to have confidence in him for that.
I think if you bring a level-headed thought process to Mike McCarthy and you leave away some of your emotions, you will come away thinking, damn, you know what, man, Mike's done a good-ass job this year. Mike's done a good job this year. I mean, again, you're not going to win every game. You're going to have issues. Every coach is not has some flaws or what have you. But given the circumstances, the adversity that you're dealing with, the way your team has been competing every week, and the way they've been winning. I mean, let's just be real. They're 11-5, like you said. Mike McCarthy's done a good job. I think he's done a good job. I know people are going to bring up clock management. Every coach is going to deal with clock management. I don't even necessarily think clock management was an issue last week. I don't know why.
That wasn't his fault.
I don't understand why that's being brought up.
First off, it was a tackle made out of bounds that should have stopped the clock anyway.
ESPN,
that forced us to use the last timeout. We shouldn't have been using that last timeout. And then secondly, we had a play earlier in the second half where they were forced to call a timeout, but that wasn't on Mike McCarthy. That was on, I don't remember who was out there, but
Are you talking about the third quarter?
Yeah.
That was a great call by Coach Bro. He tricked the Dallas Cowboys. He brought out the kicker and he brought out the quarterback on that fake field goal, and it was like, hey, if you don't call timeout,
we gonna beat you.
We're gonna get a touchdown. So
he forced us to use a timeout there. Yeah,
you almost had to call the timeout in that play. You know what stops you from using that timeout? Getting the interception.
Yep.
The play before. You just get the interception. You don't have to use a timeout. Thanks. So, my confidence level with Mike McCarthy, I would say in the playoffs, I'd go 7.5, 8. I think he'll have these boys ready to play. And ready to play isn't necessarily coming out being on fire. I don't think that's a Mike thing. I think that's just the way you call your plays, your first 15, and your guys. Your first 15 isn't about these boys ain't ready. If it was one game where I would get on Mike about not being ready, it was the Denver game. Because you heard them after the game collectively say, yeah, we kind of thought we were just going to come out here and win. Like we kind of thought we were just going to do our thing. We 7-1 or whatever it was at the time. We feeling ourselves, things like that. But I think Mike has done a good job, and he has been good in the playoffs. He's been a good playoff coach, so I feel confident in Mike McCarthy.
100.
So that is the confidence level. Let me get to a couple super chats that I missed as we were talking. Let me see here real quick. All right,
Super chat.
and these go back a little bit. Okay, our guys, the Eagles are trash. Said just like Okoye was saying a couple days ago. They need to call more drags, crosses, and intermediate quick options for Dak. They're running a lot of deep-ish. What's your thoughts on that?
He 100% right, man. If you have a quarterback who's struggling, most quarterbacks do at some point in their career. Like I said, I keep going back to the Aaron Rodgers game. They didn't just stubbornly force Devontae Adams the ball when he was struggling. They just started throwing those quick out routes, quick spill routes, drag routes, things like that allow Aaron to just get his confidence up. And then they would start taking their shots when they got in the red zone. They say, okay, now we're going to force the ball. We're going to play our normal offense when we get up here. But going up the field, it looked nothing like an Aaron Rodgers run offense when they were going up the field. They were running the ball all drive and then throwing the ball to their tight ends and throwing the ball to throwing drag routes all day. That's all they did because they knew they were struggling. When they brought OBJ to the Rams, they couldn't quite. Him and Stafford weren't on the same page. So when they started to try to get him the ball, they stopped trying to go deep to him, and they start running him on drag routes. He had a 40-yard reception against Arizona. Guess what it was? A drag route. Him and Cooper Kupp both did drags, and they intersected. When they intersected, they ran a natural pick. Their DBs fell. One of the DBs fell off of him. He got the ball on a drag route, ran up the field 40 yards. Those things can not only help Dak, but they can help Coop and help a lot of these guys who just need the touches, the accumulation of touches to get into a rhythm. And then you can start taking those shots deep later on. So he's 100% right, man.
And I think
great comment.
You're starting to see these wide receivers run these deep routes. I use this term a lot, dribbling without a purpose. I feel like they just out there running it because they know the ball's not coming this way because it's designed to go here, or he's going to come off of it and go there or whatever, right? Where it doesn't seem to be a purposeful route run to get the rock on your deep post, right? Like these, even think about it. I showed a play against the Giants where not one of your receivers were turning around looking for the ball on a blitz. Not one. The only person that was turning around looking for the rock was your running back, and then they sacked the quarterback. These routes are just kind of being just ran, and I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm just saying I don't like the combination of them sometimes. Right. And then when you hit one, Dak's coming off of it, at least in the Arizona game. He was coming off of it and going down to a different person or whatever. So
checking down when he's supposed to be hitting the post.
Yeah, or
there was a bunch of skinny posts where he was open. Like he curl right behind the linebacker.
See, he shouldn't even be
supposed to be there.
And I wonder what happens now with Gallup out. It's a conversation. Do they go more towards Cooper now and CeeDee Lamb and things like that without him out? Because, there's three guys. I got to get the ball to all three of those guys. Michael Gallup's in his contract year, and I love Michael Gallup, right? But I feel like he shouldn't be a feature in your offense between the 20s. It should be Amari Cooper, in my opinion. That should be your feature in the offense between the 20s. I'm not saying
Gallup's your deep guy. Yeah,
Gallup's
that's how they were using him deep. But Gallup's even a drag route guy too. They did that with him in the beginning of his career. You remember that play where he ran that drag and the Redskins,
the slants too,
lit him up. He flips over the guy, runs up the field for a touchdown. That was a drag route.
And the slants. When I think about Gallup, I think about those quick slants early in his career, catching tough passes, taking hits or whatever, getting you first down, moving the chains.
Yep.
B. Bird.
Super chat.
He said if the NFL makes a rule that defenses can't change coverage pre-snap, then the offense would be a beast.
Super chat.
Marv P. Sky, the sprint draw was a great run play early this season, but we just stop it. Shoot, I don't even remember them running a sprint draw. But the sprint draw, I will always think about this, man. When Tony was here with DeMarco Murray, oh, my gosh. I freaking loved that play. Loved it.
I was just talking about that yesterday, man.
Loved that play.
100.
We don't run it no more. We don't run that thing no more. All right, those are the super chats we have. So let's get into the hashtag A to Z, and then we're going to get up out of here. But let me get back into the chat to see what you guys have to say. Hope y'all enjoyed that segment, though, the confidence level segment. Good. Yeah. Our guy, Doug Smith, said, Mr. Acoy, no, Jerry said howdy. Let Mr. Acoy know Jerry said howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah, there go Eric Montoya. MG13 takes slants to the house. I mean, he doesn't take them to the house, but he breaks off big plays. Yeah.
He has. Took one to the house against the Eagles.
I don't even – really?
Everybody takes stuff to the house. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about last –
If you look – not this season.
That was – we were in the red zone, though.
No, we weren't. It was like a 30-yard play, something like that.
Well, that's not to the house.
We were in the green zone.
When I'm thinking to the house, I'm thinking.
Oh, you mean like from like?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't remember him doing that. I mean, because he ain't got those wheels.
No, Coop has done that.
Coop is the one I remember.
He did that against the Redskins.
Specifically taking those to the crib.
I remember all that, man. It's like boom, like I got him.
Yeah, let me see if we got some. Ignacio says, "Good points, man. We have no identity on offense side of the ball. It's on McCarthy and the coaching staff. Period. Nacho. I mean, I kind of agree. We don't have an identity.
Nacho.
I agree. Libre. CJ Richards says A to Z, hashtag A to Z. I'm going to be honest with you. I like our chances more with Wilson instead of Gallup.
That's disrespect. He disrespectful.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, bro. I'm not about to finna argue with Okoye with this situation. Because Michael Gallup is his guy. That's his guy.
killing my best.
Nah,
So,
man,
I do. I
defend
will
your boy.
say
Defend your boy.
there's no need for a defense on that one though.
All right,
But
I try to get
because I feel like we're just as dangerous. It depends on who you're talking about. If you just say like who's the better receiver, I think that Gallup is automatic. But the way we play and the way Dak likes to throw the ball between, the tackles, so to speak, like he likes to throw right in front of him. Gallup's not a slot guy. Wilson is. And the way we've been using Wilson is definitely more dangerous at this point. With Cooper still on the outside and CeeDee Lamb on the outside, Wilson is more dangerous in the middle of the field. So you have a point in this offense. But if you're talking player for player, Gallup going to win that. But in the offense, you got a point. I can't argue. I'm not going to argue just to argue because you got a point.
I think I'm 10 toes down with this. I think that Cedric Wilson, due to the domino effect, definitely makes this offense a little bit more versatile, right? And a little bit more, I hate to use this term Dak friendly because y'all butchered it. Y'all made it sound like it was some outrageous thing where every offense is quarterback friendly. It's designed to be quarterback friendly.
Lie.
But
can't lie on that. And Wilson can throw the damn ball too.
Do different things.
Like a lot of things he can do. So I gotta give him his credit. I'm not gonna disrespect the young.
I like it because.
But if you just lined him up outside and said, "Do what Gallup did,"
no. Well, no, and if you here's the thing: Gallup does things Said can't do. Said does things Gallup don't do.
Touche.
But I think the domino effect is why I like it the most. Because you can now put CeeDee Lamb on the outside. That's what he truly is, y'all. He's truly a X/Z wide receiver. He's not a slot guy, right? He's not and I think Dak has missed that a Randall Cobb, Cole Beasley type slot, and we both agree that Cedric Wilson can be that for you because he can route you up.
And faster, yeah.
Yeah, so I do like it. And maybe, just maybe, without Michael Gallup in there, you get back to featuring Amari Cooper more. You get back to getting the rock to CD more and things like that, because when he was out, Okoye, remember those first 6-8 weeks, those dudes were getting the rock on the outside. Dak was throwing it up to him. We were running a little bit more 12. The offense just operated differently. I'm not going to disrespect Gallup. I'm just going to say it operated differently.
No, that's the truth. The offense was moving a little bit better prior to Dak getting hurt and prior to Gallup coming back. 100%.
Remember, if you do the hashtag, it has to be a question. Statements are fine, but we want questions here. Brandon C, not a hashtag A to Z, but he says, do you think they're calling more screens to set up the fakes, like the fake screen / go route they ran to CD week 1 versus the Bucks? No, they haven't showed us that.
No, I doubt that. I think they're running all the screens because they're not thinking. They're overthinking things.
It's lazy.
It's they're not thinking about what they could possibly do in those situations. Like, if you're going to run those bubble screens, you're better off running a draw play or just running a damn ball however you want to run it if you're going to run those. Because as far as efficiency's sake, why would you continuously run something that has worked has failed more often than it's worked? They fail. So why are we continuously running those rather than running high efficiency plays? You have to see that things aren't efficient, and if your team can't run it, sort of like Dan Quinn says on the opposite side of the ball, he has things he wants to do, but then they say, hey, they're not comfortable doing it, and if they're not comfortable doing it, I take it out of the playbook. That needs to be the same philosophy on offense. You can't just keep doing a thing because you like screens and you think screens are solvent and they work, but they don't work for this team.
Well,
you take them out of the playbook.
There's a point within his question that I think is more prevalent, and he says, do you think they're calling more screens to set up fakes like they did in week 1? Let me ask you something, Brandon C. Have you seen them run that fake screen yet again?
No.
It worked. Why are you not running it again? You saving it for the playoffs after week 1? Aha, let me put that in my pocket for January 16th.
We go on to the playoffs, baby.
Like, he brings up a point within his point. This fake screen works probably better than the actual screen works. Run it. I digress.
Well, now you could, with the way they jump in these screens now, you could definitely do a fake and pull it off because they on them. I don't think we've had. Have we had successful screens this year?
We've had them mostly.
I mean,
yeah, we've had them. We've had
not one to Schultz.
I'm about to say tight end screens. They do well.
Not that one. That's the only one that worked.
No,
any other ones.
Like, we had CD got a 33-yarder 2 times. He had one against, might have been Michael Gallup against the Falcons, and then another one was Saints. Remember the Saints one?
Would you say it's more than 10?
Hell no.
Okay, but we've run like 4 of them or 5 of them
A game. Yeah. Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Hashtag A to Z DVM says, do y'all want Joe Philbin back next year? The O-line has trended down since he's been here other than Steele's development. I totally disagree. But go ahead.
Yeah, I disagree too. I think Philbin's not the problem. Philbin had these guys balling.
Trending
When
down.
you looked at when you look at what Steele's done, when you look at even Schultz blocking ability, man, early in the season we were talking about that. Like, oh man, you see Schultz blocking Bosa, and then all of a sudden, all these guys after like week 8, when we started shuffling the offensive line around, and that's not Philbin's call. Philbin didn't say, hey, let's take Williams out for McGovern. He didn't say, hey, let's start playing around with Collins and Steele. He didn't do any of that. We were shuffling around our offensive line, and he damn sure didn't injure Tyron Smith. So we were shuffling around our offensive line this entire season. He's just been trying to like do patchwork with this offensive line. That's not Philbin's fault.
Nah, Joe Philbin is one of the most respected offensive line coaches in the league. I think he's done a fantastic job with this team. Just because the offensive line, like Tyron Smith, gets hurt, I can't put that on Joe Philbin. I think Ty Nsekhe, everybody was crapping on Ty Nsekhe, but Ty Nsekhe stepped in and filled in fine. I think Terrence Steele, he started off slow at left tackle, but then he's kind of come around as your left tackle. Tyler Biotish, are we not pretty positive on Tyler Biotish's development, or we think he sucks? I think
like Biotish. I think his problem is cerebral. He's definitely good. He doesn't have that Jeff Saturday ability to like kind of call things out. Like, we had Fredericks being able to do. Fredericks was helping Romo on that line because he can see certain things. He knew what it was.
Terrence Steele's development, right?
Yeah.
Connor Williams was having a career year aside from the penalties. I mean, the penalties, half of those damn penalties weren't warranted. So I don't know, man. I think Joe. I wouldn't put Joe Philbin on a chopping block. I don't think this is him. Nah. If you wanted to get rid of Joe Philbin and bring someone else in, I would only do it in the sense of, hey, we're bringing this offensive line coach to be our, run game coordinator, right? Because maybe Kellen Moore could use a Bill Callahan type of dude in a way. But I think Joe is a pretty good coach. Oh, wow. We just got some breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
Looks like Tyron Smith just came down, got tested positive with COVID.
I'm about to say he got hurt walking down the steps. Like, what happened?
Hey, man.
He picked up his son and threw his back out.
Get these COVIDs out now.
Yeah, get them out the way, man. So y'all can get your antibodies built up. Is he vaccinated?
I think the only two that weren't were Keanu Neal and what's the other cat? Amari Cooper.
So how did Tyron get it if he's vaccinated? I don't understand. The vaccine bulletproof? He's vaccinated. I understand. Where is he getting this stuff?
Don't start.
He got the new jaw. He got the Omega. The Omega.
Don't start this mess. Tyron Smith is out. Just he's out. He's not going to play on Saturday.
We got to get these vaccines, brother. These dudes got to get these vaccines and stop playing, because once they get the vaccine, everybody in the league will be safe. They got to get them.
I can't with you, man.
We need them safe, man. Get the vaccine. Get vaccinated, people.
You know what? Everybody just get this thing out the way now. Just do it now. The last thing I need is these boys to get test positive before the game. That's all. Bubble their ass up. Yeah. I think they should be bubbled. Straight up. I think after they come back from Philly, put them in the Omni and keep them there. We running practices out the hotel room. Y'all can meet us in the lobby. We're going to block the lobby off, air this thing out.
Let me stop, man.
It's so annoying.
Let me stop. I'm going to leave it alone, man. Got to get boosted, man. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Got to get boosted.
Got to get boosted.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can find some more A to Z's. That's annoying. I'm just annoyed. J Mart Fishing, hashtag A to Z. Okoye, will you still be mad if Kellen is holding back plays if we win the chip? You still be mad at Kellen if he was holding back plays? No, what?
I mean, if we win the chip, I can forgive everybody.
Fam, I don't give a if we win the chip,
I can forgive everybody. But if we come out and we start throwing all over the place and it's like barn burners and we lose, but we've been holding back for that, then I would be mad. Yeah, I would be mad. But no, if we win the chip, I don't think I can muster up any anger if we win a chip.
There's going to be a selective group. Dak Prescott only threw for 205 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he missed it. There's going to be that selective group, Yeah. Kellen Moore got cute in the red zone. I know we won the Super Bowl, but there's going to be those weirdos. But yeah, if we win the chip, I mean, hey, babe, I love you. Kellen Moore can slap my lady if you tell me we're going to win the chip. Like, go right on ahead, Kellen, for a ring, and she'll take it because you know how much I love these boys. I'm just saying, Kellen, get away with some things. Shannon Sharp said, man, we over here naming a virus after Ben 10. Watch. Oh, man. Shannon Sharp. Man.
Oh, man.
My man Marv.
Don't do it. Don't walk in there, Sky.
I'm not.
You walk in there. Don't you walk in there.
No, y'all go right on the Koye's channel and do all that.
I lose like seven subscribers every time I open my mouth, but hey, it is what it is.
Marv P, appreciate you for a super chat.
Super chat.
He said, when the offense got more and more finesse, the O-line got worse. Run the damn ball, Kellen. I mean, I guess that's not a bad point. I hate to say the offensive line is I don't think it's bad. I just think it got injured.
No, seriously, man. When you got guys that are trying to get collectively, on the same page as far as offensive line is concerned, especially when you got maulers, let them fire off the ball. We say this all the time: fire off the ball and hit something.
Yeah, they want to run block.
They want to hit. Yeah, you got to give them a chance to eat a little bit, and it's dual aspects to it though, because if they're hitting and guys are getting injured or banged up while they're hitting them, those guys can't then in turn hit them on third downs when it's time for them to fire off the ball. See what I'm saying? So you got to let them hit, man. Got to let them go, man.
Yeah. Playoff football, you have to be able to run the ball. Not saying that's all you do. And I'm not saying being stubborn, like, oh, we're going to run it 40 times for 2 yards per carry. You're not going to win a Super Bowl that way. But you have to be able to run the ball and run it efficiently. And right now, we ain't trending in that direction.
Facts.
Yeah, ain't trending right. All right, I think we done now. DJ said I missed his super. Let me see, man.
Yeah,
let me
DJ.
see where you at, DJ. I don't see no super in there, DJ. Let me go check on YouTube, man. I don't like missing the supers.
He said, I know what I paid. DJ's World.
Oh, yeah, here it is right here. All right, let me read this. Super chat.
Super chat.
With the $5 donation, appreciate you, DJ. Bro, if they really holding back plays, I'm going to be sick. You had me feeling bad when I brought that up a month ago. All love, though. We had you feeling bad when you brought that up.
Because we said there's no way they holding back plays, right? And then we said, hey, maybe it is after the Redskins game.
Yeah, and I have the same sentiment. I still think it's stupid. Like, I think this is dumb. If that is the case,
truth to it.
I'm not sure if that's the truth or not. But if that is the truth, I think it's absolutely dumb to do that, and it can hurt you in the playoffs because you don't know if it's going to work. You don't got time. Every possession, every play matters, right? If you holding back, say you holding back a handful of plays, you run 3 of them, they're all not successful. You can't be on the sideline like, all right, listen, if we practice it this way, if we do it, you ain't got time for that.
Right.
Every play matters in the playoffs. So my sentiment does not change. I think it's dumb if they're holding back plays. And if it is, I think it's a fireable offense. I do.
Yeah. Agreed.
Any more here, man? Yeah, Javier. Tyron Smith tested positive. He's going to be out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was one more from Cash. Hashtag A to Z. What quarter do you start to pull the starters respectfully since we have to go in healthy at playoffs? Most importantly, especially on the road. I say about 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters.
I say if he dies, he dies, man. Let him play. Let them play, bro. Let them play. That's
if he dies, he dies.
We better be blowing him out. Like, no, if he dies, he dies. Go in there and let him play.
Red said, why is it dumb? I just explained why it's dumb. You don't hold you. I've talked to 3 players. All of them have said they have never heard of anything like that. You don't hold back plays in the regular season, period. You just don't do it. And the reason why I think it's dumb, because once again, if it is not successful, you don't have time to correct it.
And who's to say that you were automatically making the playoffs while doing that?
While doing it, right?
Yeah, we've been struggling for 8 weeks. It ain't like we've been struggling for 1. And it's like the Eagles game, we took some of the playbook out for the last game of the season. It's been 8 weeks, bruh. Like, how arrogant are you? Like, what are you doing? You got to win.
Okay, there's another one I must have missed here. Hold up. These things ain't popping up on my restream dip.
Super chat.
AJ Torres. If Cowboys come into the playoffs and the offense,
you ain't get AJ?
Nah, I ain't see that one. And the offense is still sputtering. Do you want or trust McCarthy to step in and call? Oh, he's not calling plays.
Nah,
that's not. Yeah, that's not. Gonna
I trust him, but it's not gonna happen.
Well, he's saying,
I trust him.
Yeah. Do you trust or want? Do you want or trust McCarthy to step in and call plays? Oh, okay. So the want part. Do you want him to step in and call plays?
This is what I want McCarthy to do. Like, or Jerry or whoever has their battery up Kellen's back. Okay. Kellen, you can run any kind of run play you want, Kellen, but I want a run play on this play. So I want him guiding him on what types of plays he wants called in certain situations. Kellen can decide what play to use, but I don't want it to just be Kellen decide to do whatever the hell you want to do. And it's because Kellen is not calling plays right now that complement what this defense is doing. Because if you have a good defense, I have never seen a team, I haven't, maybe I've never checked, but I've never seen a team with a good defense that doesn't complement that with a good constant running game. Never seen it. So for this defense to be playing this good and us not to run the ball, that's even less sense it makes. That means they're not playing complementary football.
They're not playing complementary football. And I said this over the weeks. If you go look at the great defenses in the league, when they win the Super Bowl, and I'm not saying we're up in that level, but I think the Cowboys have the potential, if not are the best defense in the league when they're on. But look at all the great defenses in the league that's won the Super Bowl. They're complemented with the running game. They just are. Yeah, that's just facts. You go look at the Ravens. You look at the Seahawks. You go look at the Steelers. Those defenses are complemented with running games. Just flat out, man.
They need it. They deserve it.
Looking for some more in here. Mark Smith, how do y'all think Philly will play since he can't? If I'm Philly, I would rest. Since they can't really gain a higher playoff spot than they already have. I think they can go 6 or 7, but I mean, I think I would sit whoever needs to be sat.
I changed my answer, actually, depended on one thing. When I said we should play them the whole game. If he dies, he dies. If Philly comes out there and does decide to rest, like you just said, get your guys out of there, because that means they're playing torpedo ball, man. They're gonna try to hurt us.
Yeah, you got the backups.
So if you got a bunch of backups in there, man, pull your guys the hell out of there. The goon squad will be aiming for knees the whole game. So yeah, I would pull them out if they're playing against backups. So if Philly does come out that way, knowing that they've already made the playoffs, then yeah, let it be Bumbo and put the backups in.
Terry and then Reyes, they're really on this, hey, let's hold back thing. He says, is it a fireable offense if it works? Of course not. I mean, if it works, no. I'm not going to fire him if it
like
works.
That. No, yes.
Right, exactly.
Like, should we run reverses? Not if they go for touchdowns.
But how the hell do we know if it works if you don't run it in the regular season? Right. Again, like I think it was PT who said, there is no better rep than a game rep. You can't emulate that. You can practice all you want, but you have to see it in the game. And then Reyes said the excuse for holding back is because they clinched the East. What was the excuse for not running a play that worked in week 1 or week 2? You didn't clinch a damn thing in week 1 or week 2. Like, it just makes no sense to me, man. You don't run the plays that freaking work. I don't know, man. I don't have an explanation for it.
You want your team happy and confident. Your offense running into the playoffs. You don't have a consistent flow. So with Zeke, Pollard, nor Cooper. So you want those guys revving up, not down, going into the playoffs. So that doesn't make any sense. You want them cohesive.
I just believe I would rather have all those good plays on film in the playoffs so you can have a counter for it when you get there. Because if you're putting that on tape in the regular season, then they have to prepare for it. And if they prepare for it, you can counter it, and you can say, okay, I know we put this out on film 3 times this year. All 3 times, 3 different teams, they played us this way. It may have worked 2 times, and it may have not worked another time, but this is how teams are playing us. So we know if they do this, X, Y, and Z, all we have to do is fake it, and boom, we're open on this side or whatever. You don't know that going into the playoff game. You're living on the hope creed. We hope that me holding this play back is going to work against the best teams in the league. We hope that we can trick them. So I don't like to live by the hope creed. I want to live by the wish creed. We wish a motherfucker would come out and play us like this because we know we can counter it that way. Right. So that's just me, man. I'm 10 toes down on that. I don't agree with this holding stuff back if that's the case. And that's why I'm very passionate about it, because that is outsmarting yourself when you can just keep it simple, stupid. You know, the football is not that damn difficult, man. It truly is not. You go look at Tom Brady when they won the Super Bowl. They didn't do anything special or trick worthy. They ran what they ran all year. I digress.
Yep.
I
100%.
All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you get up out of here because I know you probably got some things to do. Chat, we appreciate y'all for sticking around. As always, Okoye's Wednesdays or Thursdays, whichever day it is. It's pop. It's lit. It's fire. Let them, yeah, man, always, man. Let them know, Okoye, where they can find you and your work at, brother.
Definitely AKOYE, accumulated knowledge over years of experience. I got to say that every time. That's what Okoye means. But you can definitely find me at Okoye Media on YouTube and IG. IG is more boxing, family stuff, and a lot of my style jokes on there. So if you really like that type of stuff, definitely follow me on IG too. And also, I respond. I respond to the DMs and the chat boxes and so on Twitter as well. So definitely reach out if you got questions or you got things you want me to break down. I'm all about it. So hit me up. Let me know. But yeah, appreciate it, Sky, man, for sure. But until next week, man. Hopefully, we rolling in the playoffs with some more confidence than we currently have.
If we play the Cardinals, which it'd be kind of cool if we do, because we got actual tape of us playing against the Cardinals. That'll be nice to break down. But if we got them, man, we'll have some great film for you. If not, it doesn't matter. We'll have some film breakdowns. Whoever the Cowboys play in the wild card round, it'll be an exciting show. And I don't know if we're gonna do this round table next week. I think we might have to save these for after, or might have to just go ahead and space these things out, because every time we do a round table before a big game, it don't end up right.
Yeah. You know, every time we've gotten as a group of fans and the team itself, when we get super excited and confident, there's always like a back to earth, come to earth moment right after that. Yeah, so I think we need to have even tempers, both from players and fan perspectives, man.
Yeah, man, we got to talk to the group like, yo, let's just hold off. Let's just do a round table after the season. Hopefully that's in February, on February 14th. But if y'all know what I'm saying, February 13th is a Super Bowl. But yeah, man, a lot more show to go in regards to next week for the Cowboys versus whomever in the playoffs. Koye will be back. We'll get this thing popping. All right, make sure y'all tune in later tonight. Mauricio Rodriguez, A to Z Sports, prime time. He is amazing, man. I think the young boy is killing it. He's very sharp and bright. And then check out A to Z Sports Dallas, or A to Z Sports.com/Dallas for all the articles. This has been A to Z Sports Live, presented by Texas Family Fitness. We out of here. Peace.
I want me some glory hole.